Okay. So Esther, it's so nice to finally meet you.
Likewise.
It's pretty cool. You're in South Africa.
Yeah.
It's nice that we connected.
Mm.
So I just want to start off with you talking about when your journey started, who your journey's about. This is your time, your space to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay. I think we now 11th month now. I lost my eldest daughter, Sharon Rose, the 31st of May last year to ovarian cancer. She had a 2-year journey battling with the disease, and yeah, on that Monday morning, she gave her last breath.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
How has everything been since you started the journey, unfortunately?
I don't know. Like I was telling my husband, it's as if I haven't come to terms with it yet. I don't know if I still think she's still around. I don't know. Because we visit the grave weekly. We try and visit every Sunday. So I don't know if that is still keeping her alive. I don't know if that makes sense. But there are days where it's me. Like really it's me, and I lose it and I shut down. And I lock myself off from everybody. And then my other two girls, they give me that motivation, that courage to get up again. Because I have 3 daughters, or I don't know if you still say 3 daughters or had 3 daughters, but yeah.
How old was your daughter when she passed?
18.
18. Oh. I'm sorry, what kind of cancer did she have?
Ovarian.
Ovarian. Oh.
Yeah.
How are your other daughters handling it or getting through it?
Quite well, actually. I think they're mostly keeping them strong for me. Because myself and Sharon, we were very tight. Because of her illness, I was the only carer. So we spent most of that time together all the time, that 2 years, that they didn't really go through it with us to feel it as strongly, I guess, as I did. And they hardly got to see her. So their memories are like 2 years ago of their sister. So I don't think for them is as hard as it was for her father and myself.
Right.
Yeah.
How is your husband handling this?
No, he's in a bad way because this is his first daughter. She's a splitting image of him. So he took it. I have to keep myself strong so that I can be there for him, so that he doesn't lose it, because he still has lots of questions. I don't know if he's still in denial, but he has lots of questions to why, and he blames everyone. Yeah, so he's still taking it very hard.
Have you had anything that anyone has said to you or anything that you've done that's kind of helped you through this process? I know nothing will help. Has anyone gave you any words of I'll be okay at some point, not today, not tomorrow, at some point, I'll be okay?
My doctor actually, I think he was the first person I actually broke down to after the funeral, because I had to keep myself so strong, because I didn't want people to worry about me. That when he literally looked at me and he said, "Esther, how are you doing, really?" And then he told me it's gonna hurt for a very, very long time. He actually said, "You can feel the pain, and that pain is gonna be there for a very, very long time, until one day you will feel that pain is no longer there. It can take months, it can take years, but it's your pain, and I mustn't worry about what no one says, because I will know one day. I'll never forget about it, but I'll know one day that I'm okay." Yeah, so I think that stayed with me.
Do you believe him?
I think I've never met anyone that lost a child before. It was the first time, so nobody has ever spoken to me, but I've seen people that were extremely close losing their loved one, and then one day being okay, but are they okay? Because on the outside,
Mhm.
you can seem okay, and on the inside, when no one's around, you can be a mess. So I'm hoping to believe him
Right.
that it is true. Because I don't forever want to be broken. I don't forever let me cry every day. So I don't want to cry every day because it's affected my health. I'm under the hospitals now. I've never had water before. Like my face is swollen. My feet are swollen. Yeah, my ankles are swollen because I'm literally doing nothing every day, but sitting in my house, watching
Right.
Netflix, trying to keep my mind off from, I'm not sleeping. So I wouldn't want to feel like this forever. I would like to be myself one day in the future. I would like to be Esther again, if that makes sense.
No, it makes 100%. Yeah, I completely understand. I completely get it. I don't know if you know anything about my story, why I started this.
I was going to ask you now.
So my sister passed away in September. We had a hurricane come through New Jersey, and unfortunately, she was a victim of the hurricane and the flooding. And it was 1 minute she was here, the next minute, you know, not. So it was a very,
Sadly, but yeah.
very traumatic experience for
Can
all
you
of
imagine?
us. You know, and it's been 7 months. Um, so I can empathize with you and, you know, your daughters, and, you know, I can empathize with how you're feeling because I can see how my parents are feeling. Um, so I completely, I get it. You know, when people say that they've lost someone, they understand losing a child is a very different kind of loss.
Yeah.
You
But I
know,
can imagine with the sister as well, because is that her in the picture of your profile? You guys look very close, so I can imagine because with Amy, my middle one, she and Sharon were tight. They were best friends. So she doesn't open up much. And I've asked her if she wanted to speak to someone. She says no, she's fine. She speaks to her boyfriend. So I don't know if I as a parent should leave it at that or get help, because losing your sister is quite similar, I think. I don't have sisters of my own, but I can only imagine because it's literally your first best friend ever. So yeah, my heart really goes out for you. I'm sorry for your loss.
you know, there's 5 of us. There's 5 kids. My sister was the middle child. So you can tell that there's a change in the family. Like it's never going to be the same. And just like I'm sure with you guys, it's going to be a different normal. It's never going to be the same normal. It's just going to be different.
Yeah. Have you been to any support groups?
Yeah, I started therapy back in November, but support groups, no, I've just been one-on-one therapy.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I didn't feel it helped me. So I stopped it because I don't know why. I feel I would be better in a support group, but we don't have any of those here where I stay. So that's the only thing. I just feel I'd like to see, I don't know if I'd like to see other mothers that have been through it years ago, maybe how they are now. I know I tell my husband there's people that lose family members in horrific ways. You know, we got to sit and spend that time until the last breath with these people, and it happens like with your case, it happens instantly. You don't get a chance to say goodbye. We did. And if I feel like this, how much they feel? Yeah, then I just feel like I would like to be in a support group. So I'm still doing research on that to see if there is, maybe now that COVID has died down a bit and the lockdown has eased up,
yeah,
if there is support groups. I know they stopped all that with COVID. Because I
I'm
feel
wondering, no, not to cut you off, I'm sorry. I'm wondering if my mom would be interested, and my aunt, my cousin passed away 15 years ago. She lost her son also. So I'm wondering maybe we could do like a virtual support group with the 3 of you, if they would be interested in doing that.
You can go with him. Yeah,
I'll have to speak with them and see if they're willing to. Because I think it'll be good for everyone to talk,
yeah,
but I would have to ask them.
okay. We'll do that.
Do you have a lot of support at home? Like
Mm-mm.
other family? No.
Not at all. I think it's my fault. I've pushed people away, so everybody actually thinks I'm okay. Nobody sees me cry, besides my husband, and my kids. So I think with the family and friends, I think they don't know what to say, and they're afraid to talk about it in case I am okay, and bringing her up maybe will affect me and take me back into the bad space. But I've pushed a lot of people away due to the fact that I wanted to be alone. I don't know why. I know that's selfish because people really want to be there for me, and I'm not allowing them to.
It's not selfish. This is your journey and they don't know what you're going through. So I would don't say you're being selfish because this is what you need to do to process what happened. But I think it might be good when you're ready just to reach out and say, do you want to come over for a cup of coffee?
Mm.
And let them know it's okay to talk about her. You want people to talk about her. You don't want her to be forgotten. You know?
I think there's a lot of forgiving on my part also because I feel like they wouldn't be. They knew she was ill and they wouldn't be. So I feel like I want to be selfish. I know it's my grief because that's not the person I am. I'm a very loving, forgiving, kind person. But it's like my grief has turned me into this different person. And it's as if I'm now angry with him because now all of a sudden they want to be here when she's not here.
Right.
And they weren't here when she was alive.
And you have every right to feel that way. No one can tell you that's not how you should feel.
Mm.
You know?
Sorry for
Because they're not going through it, you are.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. I know when I'm ready, I'll know. I'll know when
Yeah.
I'm ready. I feel I will just know. Yeah.
And even if just baby steps.
Mm.
Do you do any, you said you stay home and just watch Netflix? You don't go
Yeah.
out?
That's new for me because I've been busy, like I said, for the past 2 years, up and down hospitals, Um, so my last few years of my life was focused on her that now I don't know what to do. I
Yeah.
haven't worked. Yeah. So it's like I have to find out, like one of the teachers at the old school told me to maybe she used to volunteer a lot at children homes. So, and both of us loved kids. So she said maybe to go to that home and go volunteer maybe and have them put a crib in her name or something, dedicate a crib in her name or just something that I can keep myself busy so that I don't sit at home making myself ill. So I said I'm thinking of that to volunteer and now before I go back into the world, fully.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I think that's a
Mm.
nice way to keep her
Memory
name,
of her.
her name there and her memory. And I think it'll give you some peace knowing that even though she's not here, she's still helping people.
Mm. And she was a beautiful soul. She was very helpful, very kind. That's my husband is battling with, and as he goes through the Facebook pages with me, he's like, all these kids, all these parents lost their kids, all these deaths, and it's like it's getting real for him because our community is very small, or we keep it small that we don't really. How can I say we mind our own business, in other words? So we don't really know what is going on. Yes, we hear about the shootings and the killings and stuff, but we don't really. Young deaths is not something that's common for us, but going on Facebook and seeing how many people, youngsters in their 20s and their 30s, before they even really got a chance to live or have kids or have any life. It's shocking. Because I was telling him all I actually just wanted from her. I know it's selfish, but to have something left behind. Like I feel jealous with mothers that still have that grandchild that they can still hold. I have nothing but memories and belongings. Yeah. But yeah.
But you shouldn't, like I said, don't feel selfish. This is how you feel. You have every right to feel how you feel.
Yeah.
You need to get that word out of your vocabulary. You know, this is your feelings. No one can tell you not to feel the way you feel.
Mm.
And your feelings are valid. Your
Okay.
feelings are valid. Has have you started talking to somebody at all, or you said you went once and you just didn't like it?
I stopped it, yeah. I was thinking of calling at, I don't know if, okay, you guys also have hospice, right?
We do what?
Hospice, you guys also have hospice.
Hospice,
Like,
yeah.
like we have St. Luke's hospice, so they sent someone to my contact with me because Sharon, in her last days, they were going to place her under hospice care.
Mm.
But then it wasn't necessary because then she passed on. So they reached out to me. I know they trained to ask certain things and say certain things, but it's like, this guy hasn't lost anyone before. So he just sits there and he doesn't say a thing. I know that's what they're supposed to do. I also don't know. It's my first time being in counseling. So I just feel when I leave there, I leave more heavy burden than relief. So either I have to get someone else in,
Mm-hmm.
because they deal with death so much. It's like that is their job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a more cold feeling that I receive than a warm feeling. So maybe I should reach out to someone else and see if that can help, because obviously having no one to talk to is not good also. Um, Keeping everything inside is not good also. I know,
No.
because it makes you feel sick. I mean, you feel it. Yeah.
Well, we're not even in the same country, but if you ever want to talk, you can send me a message. I'll hop on here and we can talk anytime if you need
Same here.
anybody.
Yeah. You look like you're a very strong woman. Yeah, I know looks sometimes can be deceiving, and it's so hard to put up a face. Like today, the family's here, but I've been hidden. I stayed at the back by my parents, so I've been keeping myself hidden away the whole day. So yeah, I
Maybe
guess
just
I
go
have
outside for
to.
a little walk.
Yeah.
Sit outside, read a book.
Mm.
Maybe in your
Yeah.
backyard. So if people are walking, you don't need to see them
Mm.
if you don't want
No,
to.
I went away for the weekend, and that was nice. It was my birthday, so my husband took me away.
Oh,
Then
nice.
that was nice being, but it's still there. We also alone, but it's still we could talk. We could sit outside the place we were at, and we could talk. And afterwards, we went to the grave, and it's the first time that the kids weren't with us, so we could speak whatever was on our hearts that we never got the chance to speak about. And then it got emotional because at the time there were 4 funerals around her, and as they were singing and burying their loved ones, it took me back to that day. So
Yeah.
there's, I could let go without having to worry that my kids, because they worry about me. As soon as I start crying, then I can see the reaction. I have to wipe my tears because they worry about me. Is mommy okay? Is mommy gonna get sick? Is mommy? Yeah. So I was glad that I had this weekend and today to be without them since her passing, um, and be able to talk about her and the things that questions we had, and that we actually could see. We were, as parents, we love our kids so much, and we're always hopeful because we're always praying and believing. And it makes, if I look back now, I can see that we actually kind of knew this was coming. We made ourselves not see it because we
Mm.
didn't want to see it. Obviously not.
Right.
So there's no things we could talk about today. So that the blame we put out there is just to make ourselves feel better, blaming the doctors and blaming the hospital, but we could see, literally, I don't know if you've seen a cancer patient going. Um, yeah, like Amy said, that wasn't my sister, mommy. Um, that was cancer. That was in that bed. She said, I lost my sister years ago. And it's sad for me to hear her say that. But it was true because cancer deformed her. She is, and I don't know if you can see, she's a very beautiful,
Oh,
these pictures I have of her. She's very
she's
beautiful.
beautiful.
So the way cancer deteriorated her, it was hard to look at her. And in a way, I'm also glad that she's pain-free because that pain, she was so brave, she never showed it, she never complained. But if I listen to other patients and they speak about that pain, I'm like, wow, then for me, it's a partial relief that she's free of it. And I do believe she is free of it. Yeah, it was the Friday before she passed. She said to me, Mommy, I want to go. And I started crying and I said, no, she can't leave me. And then she stopped and she said, sorry, Mommy, sorry, don't cry. Okay, I'm going nowhere. And then I told my husband I was being selfish because she was suffering and I was being selfish and wanted to keep her here. But she loved me so much. She was willing to continue living in this pain just so she didn't have to see me cry. And the Monday, her sister told me that as I was sitting by her bed, I told her, it's okay, Sharon, you can go. 5 minutes later. So I think she waited on me to be okay before she actually gave her last breath. So yeah, it's hard. Sorry, I'm crying.
No, don't be sorry. But that's such a beautiful gift that you gave her. Take your time, cry. It's okay.
Uh, mm, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. It's okay to cry.
Mm. I'm
And I know
okay.
you said you don't like crying in front of your kids, but I think it might be good for them to see you cry.
Mm.
I think it shows that it's okay to cry. It's okay to show your emotions instead of just bottling it up.
True.
You know, they could see you cry and just cry. It's okay. You can cry because you're thinking of her and it was a happy memory. You know, it doesn't always need to be a sad cry.
Like my birthday that passed, she was always in charge of giving me surprises and giving me gifts. So this year I was prepared for nothing because she wasn't here. And then they walked in at exactly, and surprised me and in tears, like literally because they did everything she would have done for me, but more. Um, so it was nice for me to see Amy cry. It was
Oh, your volume. You put yourself on mute. There we go.
and for me to see everyone, she's still very young. When Sharon passed, she was 10. So her mind, I don't think she understood death really, but it was nice for me to see her show emotion because I was worried about her, why she's not crying, why she's not showing any emotion. So maybe you're right. Maybe I should show them vulnerability so they know that it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not an expert, but I from my experience, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You know, it might be like a good family bonding moment where you used to cry and the kids come, they sit with you and you just talk about her.
Now we never had that in a long time.
You know, that might be a nice moment for you guys. And your husband too.
Yeah, no, he works so much, we hardly really see him. It's only Sundays when he's at home. Then that's why we spend the time when he's at home, then we will go to the grave. And a lot of people don't believe you should visit the grave. They believe, the dead is dead, leave them to be. But as I was advised by my doctor, I must go as many times as I want to. If it's twice a day, twice a week, I must go as many times as I want, because what we do is we clean up around the grave and Amy will put fresh flowers on and And that is therapeutic for her again, still being able to do something for her sister, even though her sister's not there. So I'm literally not listening to people, because a lot of people's like, why are you still going to the grave? And you start making yourself more sad when it's not. It's for me like visiting her in real life. If she was to move it like she would have intended to, like visiting her at the actual house. I don't know if that makes sense. Apartment, and I know it's a grave, but yeah, and she's not there, it's just a body. But it helps me. So whatever helps me right now, I'm doing.
Yeah, don't worry about what anyone else says.
Mhm.
Don't worry about what anyone else says. My parents go, they try to go at least once a week,
Okay. So
you know.
mm.
They go, they bring her food.
That's sweet.
They put food down for her so she can have, you know, they bring fresh flowers every time, they clean it up. So unless you've gone through it, you don't have the right to say what you should and shouldn't do.
Thank you. It's fine. Sorry, someone came in now. Actually, my daughter's boyfriend.
Oh.
I don't know if I must call it ex-boyfriend or boyfriend. Yeah, they were very tight, so it hit him also very hard because they were going to be engaged. She was turning 19 just before birthday, yeah. So I mean, just before she passed. So they were going to get engaged, and she was going to study further and move out, and yeah. So now he still comes every day. He still sits here every day
Oh,
until
that's
he.
so.
Yeah. So I said to him, if he feels, also it mustn't stop him. If he feels he met someone and he wants to move on, because it's part of life. He's still very young.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only 21, so he needs to. There's someone out there for him still.
I mean, that's beautiful that he still comes to visit, though.
Yeah, he does it for Tiana. Tiana is the exact lookalike of Sharon. So I don't know if it helps him seeing Tiana, but it helps Tiana seeing him because it keeps things normal, as if nothing changed. But I also explained to her that one day he's not going to come around as often, and he's going to, and she understands that now.
How old are your other daughters?
Amy is turning 17 and Tiana is turning 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and again, I'm so sorry for your family. I'm sorry that you guys are going through this.
No, same for you. I literally did not know for you was 7 months only. Was, I don't know, you just saw there's some sort of strength I feel from you. And you offering to do this. I thought maybe it was years in your journey. So I'm sorry for your loss too. And I'm really thankful that you could find your heart to reach out to people, because I do actually feel better. And I'm actually going to really try and not give up on myself, because I do know my husband and my daughters do need me. And
You
I know
need
Sharon.
you. You need to do this
Yeah,
for you.
first, I know, yes, I know, but also it's not nice for them to see me falling behind. Yeah. So I must do this, like you say, for me, in order to love for them.
Like I said before, if you ever want to talk, send me a message. You know, if I'm around, I'll hop on. You can talk, you can cry, you can not say whatever, not say anything, whatever you need that time.
No, thank you. I definitely will keep it in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tracy.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.